Well, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. I haven't done one of these in a while. My what has sold. This is going to go a little bit further back in a week. I decided I'm going to do a little bit different this time, and I'm going to go into parts. If you don't have the whole thing, don't worry about it. You can often sell the parts. So I'm going to show 10 items. Some of them are going to be parts from the same thing, but this is what sells. Be on the lookout for, whatever you want to call it. This first one is a guitar here, a dongle. You'll often find these by themselves, but I happen to have found this one with the guitar. I paid $7 for the guitar and the dongle. Actually, it had two dongles attached to it, so I kind of scored there. And funny thing is, after doing research, I can get more money if I took it apart and sold the parts. Even though I had the whole thing, you need the dongle to use the guitar, but I sold both the dongles separately and the guitar separately and made more money than I would have if I sold them together. I sold both dongles for $49.95. So I made $100 minus fees and everything. So I probably made about $90 profit just on the two dongles, but I was still able to sell the guitar for, I think it was $35. That's not getting included in today's little video, but so if you happen to find a guitar with the dongle, don't think you have to sell them together. People have the dongle and they want an extra guitar, they'll buy the guitar. People that have the guitar and don't have the dongle will buy the dongle. So you can usually make more money separating things. Now, the next couple we're going to is board games. These may not make you lots of money, but it could be lots of smalls. They're easy to ship. But if you find a board game you can pick up for $1 or 50 cents, the pieces may not always be there. Now, you can cram that board game away somewhere until you find another one or buy the piece yourself off eBay. Or if you don't want to do that, I just take the parts and sell the parts separately. They're easier to store, they're easier to ship than the whole board game. Board games are usually, 18 inches long, and you have to use the priority game box, and it costs as a large priority flat rate. So to the customer, it's about $17. You end up only paying about $14.60 or $14.95. For large box shipping. But here I just took the little credit cards and electronic banking unit and sold it for $12.95 plus shipping. And I only paid $1 for the game. And I'm still selling the pewter pieces and the money separately and stuff like that. Here's another one. I bought this Indiana Jones Game of Life. And I sat on it for a long time because I was missing a couple of pieces. And I just sat on it I decided, screw it. I'm just going to sell the pieces. And I sold the spinner, I sold the mountains, and I sold the little dudes here. $5.95 plus shipping. And I paid $1 for the game. So right after the little dudes, one sale, I made my money back plus profit, and all the other parts are profit. And this cost $1.93 to ship. I sealed them in a little bag, wrapped them in bubble wrap, threw them in a poly mailer. Out the door they went. I could have done a better picture, my background's getting dirty. But there you go. Parts. Next we have printers. I had a printer that I probably could have sold for $50, $70 used. It would have been a pain in the butt to ship. And I actually tried it. I had it up on eBay and Bonanza for 2 months and did not sell. So I finally just tore the thing apart. And this is the ink cartridge holder, the print head. Sold it for $20 plus shipping. And it was my printer, so I didn't buy it. But often you can buy these used printers for, a couple bucks and scrap them. Sell the parts. A lot of people don't want, their printer head goes bad. They want a new printer head rather than buy a new printer. There you go. And the next item came out of the same printer. It's the paper tray. I sold the paper tray for another 20 bucks. And I have the power supply up. I haven't sold the power supply yet for this printer, but I've done this to 2 other printers that I have had, and one I picked up for a couple bucks. The paper trays sell. The print heads sell. And the power supplies, I've had a little bit of trouble moving the power supplies, but they do sell. Not as much money, but yeah, plus shipping. I get 21 bucks plus the shipping on this. So you don't have to sell the whole printer. I mean, look at the printer. If it has parts that are, this is the printer it actually came from right here. If it has, excuse me, oh, here there. If you can pull off paper trays and the power supplies and the print heads, and if you want to, you can actually take this down more, but those are the parts that are easily replaced that are going to sell quicker and move quicker. I mean, the printer as a whole sat for 2 months and I did not sell it, so I scrapped it. These things sold within a week of being put up there. Next item here is, I found this in the trash, actually. So it didn't cost me a dime. And what it is, we call them toasters, but they're a hard drive dock. That's the little slot right there you can pop a hard drive into, plug and play. It connects to your computer by USB. I actually have one of these. I have a dual, this one up here is one I actually have. I have a dual toaster I use in my photography business. So I can pop a hard drive in there and read it and archive old hard drives. And so I had a power supply to test this and it worked. So I sold it only, it doesn't go for a lot, but 16 bucks from free plus the shipping. That's pretty good. So you can sell parts if you don't have it. You might want to keep one of those universal power supplies that you can change the output on so you can test them, or you can sell it as untested and, for a little bit less, sell it as untested and take a chance on it. Most often it'll work, but again, I got this one for free and was able to test it and sell as parts. Next one kind of surprised me, Bionicles. It's a Lego product. I actually found a bag of Bionicles and I paid a couple bucks for the whole bag. And rather than lotting the whole thing out, I pulled out just the heads. This is 12 heads, and I actually found the other part of his head. So this person got 13 heads, various colors here. And he paid 25 bucks for it, plus shipping. It was first class. It was $1.93 to ship out. I had them sealed in a bag. I bubble wrapped them, threw them in a poly mailer, and it still came out to almost 3 ounces, which is $1.93. So don't overlook parts and pieces. Even if you can't make the whole Bionicle piece, parts of them will sell. The heads will sell. I have the masks listed separately. They haven't sold yet. I have weapons I haven't listed yet. I sell the weapons. And then I have a lot bag of just body parts that I have some watchers on but haven't sold yet. But the heads sold pretty quick. I listed them a couple days ago and then they went. So the next 3 items I'm going to show you are another Lego item. It's called Mindstorms. It's their robotics line. And I found this box of almost complete. It was missing a few pieces. I mean, if I actually count them, I'm probably maybe missing 5 or 6 pieces. But I decided to part it out separately. This unit right here alone, this is the brain unit. You actually plug this into your computer and program it. And I was surprised I saw one that sold is not working. I put mine up for $35.95 and it sold within 24 hours, not working, plus shipping. I shipped it out in a small flat rate box. And I already got good feedback on it. And he said feedback was quick shipping and exactly as described, it does not work. Now, if you can find one of these that works, you can get almost $100 for these things working. And I'll show you some of the other pictures here. It comes with, it has these little special ports, a USB port for connecting to the computer, and it has these other ports that connect to other components, which I'll show you one of them. It has, you can see here in this top one, it has wheels, gear ports, and I have each one listed separately. And I've already sold another one I'll be showing you here. And it connects to other parts with their Technic type connector pieces. And I have interest on that from Taiwan, and I have to go ahead and put international shipping okay on that for him so he can buy it. But that's a control unit, not working, sold for 40 bucks. I paid $7 for the whole box, by the way. If it was complete and working, it goes for over 300. So something to look out for. It's called Mindstorms. Next part I sold was, this is one of the sensors. It comes with several sensors. This is the color light sensor. You can see here, it puts out lights and it senses lights. And it has the connector to it. And you make these little robots and program. This one sold for $32.95. No negotiation, no best offer. Just bought it. I love when they do that. And then shipping. And then the last part so far I've sold on this was the disc that came with it. You load on your computer and loads up the software. And yeah, it had a few scuff marks, so I'm crossing my fingers it works. But this one only sold for, I had it on sale, sold for about 12 bucks plus shipping. So I have other parts. I have the other sensors still up there. I have all the connecting pieces. It's almost 100 pieces in lot. I have the other sensors, and then I have the cables, which I have a couple of watchers on the cables now. It comes with 7 different sized cables to connect the different sensors to your control unit. So I was kind of shocked. I mean, the story was I actually looked at this thing and thought, nah, you're probably asking too much, whatever. And so I started walking away and plugging it into my phone to research it. And when I saw the control unit alone was selling for 40 bucks, not working, I decided to take the chance. And I asked him, and he wanted 10. And I talked him down to 7. I got 7 for the whole box. So it's paid for. Everything else now is profit. I mean, it was paid for by the first sale, and everything else sold is just pure profit. So be on the lookout for that. So that's my 10 items, kind of showing you can sell parts. Hush, cat. You don't have to have complete units. You can wait until you find the right parts. You can buy them from people like me on eBay and make your units whole. Like I have right now, if you saw my last haul video, I have a little Risk Lord of the Rings. I counted all the pieces. It's missing the golden ring, which I can probably find. I mean, I found one on eBay right now, but he wants 16 bucks. I might offer him 10 bucks. But I also counted the armies, and it's missing like 3 or 4 of the little army pieces. Now, I can wait and try to get those pieces, or I can go ahead and part that out. I can probably get 12 bucks for each color army times 4. So that's $48 right there. And then I can sell the cards out for 6 bucks, and so I can make good money off the parts. I only paid $1.50 for it. But if I can get those little armies in a ring, which will take me time, I can sell the whole thing out for 120 to 150 used on Amazon. So I'm still debating what I'm going to do there. So little knowledge for there. You can sell parts if you don't have the whole item. I'm almost at my 15 minutes, so I'm going to sign off for now. Hope you guys do well in your sales this week. Stay positive. And remember, parts sell.